All right, peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. Prosecutors in Cincinnati are blaming the entire brawl on the man who was slapped in Cincinnati. Yes, they are calling him the initiator, the ringleader, and he appeared in court yesterday because they brought up some new charges on him, and they wanted to raise his bond after he already posted an unusually high $270,000 bond on those original charges. Now I'm going to show you two videos about the other people as well who appeared yesterday and how prosecutors are still denying the fact that the man who slapped Mr. Kittles was the instigator and the progenitor of the assault. Now, these videos are used in fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
Several different stories, one violent night, and prosecutors calling last month's melee downtown a vicious and violent attack. Defense attorneys say it was a drunken brawl.
Yeah, and today 5 of the 6 defendants went before the judge today for the first time since those indictments. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson live for us outside of the courtroom with more on exactly what happened today. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, hey, Sherry. Judge Alan Triggs arraigned each defendant individually, even though they've all been indicted on the same charges, felonious assault, and aggravated rioting. One defense attorney said, please make sure that you consider each defendant and consider the arguments separately.
The video shows when some of the individuals go on the ground, Mr. Merriweather walks away.
Montanez Merriweather was the first to be arraigned today. He is the one who was actually out on bond in a separate weapons case when the downtown assault took place. Judge Triggs kept his bond at $500,000, the highest of all of the defendants. The 2 women defendants, Dakira Vernon and Aisha Devon, had theirs lowered to $25,000 and are allowed to post 10%. Aside from the bond issue, we also heard more details about what allegedly happened from the prosecutor. Defense attorneys, though, disagreed with the prosecutor's story.
Throughout the short duration of this case, several defense counsels said that racial epithets were thrown at these people. That was 1 minute and 47 seconds into this brutal beatdown. Were the words said? Yes. Were they inappropriate? Absolutely. But these poor people were being assaulted, stomped, WWE-style elbow drops onto pavement.
This is a typical fistfight case that you have in Cincinnati time and time again. This case is being treated differently and inappropriately because of race and people trying to acquire and obtain political gain for their selfish reasons.
Prosecutors also addressed that slap today, the slap that everyone is talking about, the one where you see the white guy slapping one of the defendants, Jermaine Matthews. And the prosecutor said that actually happened 47 seconds into the assault. The prosecutor said it happened after one of the victims was assaulted. Reporting live downtown, Karen Johnson, WLWT News.
Yeah, I think that's why so many people are just saying, okay, how did all of this start? And of course, the chief is saying we got to wait for the investigation to be complete. Karen, I'm also wondering, what about that 6th suspect? I believe his name is Patrick Roseman. When is he going to be arraigned?
Yeah, Sherry, some of you may remember he's the one who was actually arrested in Georgia near Atlanta. He was supposed to be brought back to Hamilton County, and everyone was hoping he was going to be arraigned today with the others. However, he was not yet extradited to Hamilton County. They are hoping, though, he is sometime between now and tomorrow, and he can get arraigned sometime tomorrow.
All right, Karen Johnson live on this story that continues to unfold. Karen, thanks so much. Also.
All right, and so there you see the news people continuously to act clueless. Here we're just all wondering how this all started. We all saw how it started on the video and the nerve of the prosecutor, and he's going to let his racism show clearly in the next clip. But this prosecutor saying that the slap happened 47 or minute and 40 seconds into the brawl, and the racial epithets happened 1 minute and 40 seconds in the brawl. When we can clearly see there was no brawl when that white man slaps the black man. Now, shout out to Clyde Bennett. Y'all see Clyde Bennett in there. I think he was defending one of the young ladies who got their bond dropped to a reasonable amount, $25,000. If you don't know Clyde Bennett is defending our dear brother Rodney Hinton Jr. In another case that has brought out the racial divide. And he mentioned that this is treated differently. This is a typical street fight in Cincinnati that always happens, but this is treated differently because of race, and the people who got beat up were white, and people are trying to use it for political gain. Now, let's take a look at this next video, because the racism is going to really come out when this prosecutor describes once again his version of the events. Just take a look. Once again, this is fair use as well.
Well, a day of dueling narratives inside a Hamilton County courtroom. 5 of the 6 people indicted in last month's assault downtown facing a judge today.
The prosecutors laying out what they say happened. Defense attorneys telling a different story, as you can imagine. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson live right now outside the courthouse, walking us through everything that happened today. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, hey, Mike, that's right. 5 of the 6 appeared individually in front of Judge Alan Triggs, and this was their first court appearance since the grand jury indictments. And really today, prosecutors gave the clearest version yet of what they say happened last month. Prosecutors calling these 2 men, Dominique Kittle and Jermaine Matthews, the instigators, saying they were the first to approach the victims.
Told them they were at the wrong, quote unquote, the wrong party, and that they were going to make sure that they got off that court, and that's what they did.
Matthews' attorney claims some of the victims went to the corner looking for a fight and began kicking Matthews' car.
Those individuals were attacking his car for no reason. That was the catalyst of everything that happened. It was a mutual combat. It was a brawl.
Defense attorneys standing united on what they say this was.
A blind man can see, and everybody in this city knows, if you remove race and you remove politics, this is a fist fight and a brawl that was fueled by alcohol consumption, and that was initiated by some of the alleged victims.
Prosecutors, on the other hand, described this as a vicious and savage attack, with the 2 female defendants interjecting themselves into the melee.
She kicked, she stomped, and had direct contact that caused concussions to these 2 particular victims.
Prosecutor Kip Guinan says this slap everyone is talking about came 47 seconds into the assault after someone was already beaten, and the racial slurs.
That was 1 minute and 47 seconds into this brutal beatdown. Were the words said? Yes. Were they inappropriate? Absolutely. But these poor people were being assaulted, stomped, WWE-style elbow drops onto pavement. One woman was knocked out to the point that her head hit the pavement. We could be here on a homicide.
And the 6th person who was indicted was not arraigned, because you may remember he was actually arrested in Georgia. He has not yet been brought back to Hamilton County. As for the bonds, it varies defendant by defendant. Both women had theirs lowered to $25,000. They could post 10%. Merriweather had the highest bond at $500,000. His remains at $500,000. We have a breakdown of all of that on our website, WLWT.com. Reporting live tonight downtown, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Karen, so many videos of that incident. Both sides actually brought up surveillance video of the fights, making it clear that we out here, the public, we have not seen all of them. Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's very clear we haven't. Alex Deardoff, one of the defense attorneys, she says she has 20 different videos in her possession. The prosecutor says they have 2 videos from the sides of cameras that only the detectives and the prosecutor has seen. It has not been made public. Then Brandon Fox, another defense attorney, says he was given another video from a witness that captures the entire thing. So there are a lot of videos that clearly the public has not seen what happened from start to end.
All right, Karen Johnson live.
All right, so there you see another narrative, another version of the events. But once again, Clyde Bennett pointed out this is a typical street fight that was started by the alleged victims. And you hear the prosecutor once again making his narrative that they are the racial slurs and the slap came after the brawl. There was no brawl before it happened. I also saw a video of the live bond hearing of I think that was Matthews, and he was the man that they're bringing back some extra charges on. He bonded out immediately. Then they added extra charges, so now they're trying to, or the prosecutor was trying to raise his bond. He already paid, once again, it was a $270,000 bond. That's $27,000 at 10%. And he was a business owner that had 3 cars parked on that corner, which one of those cars, the drunk white people were attacking. Now they tried to say, well, he told them that they were on the wrong corner or whatever the case may be, and they was going to run them off the corner, which is furthest from the truth. They also said after this quote unquote alleged threat that the white man went back and grabbed 2 other white men and came back, and then that's when, you know, everything started. But we can clearly see from the video also there's another eyewitness, as you heard the news lady say, that they have a complete video that shows everything that happened, and she's willing to testify of everything that happened. But, you know, the audacity of them to continuously ignore the slap, the initiation of this. And I mean, if you watch that bond hearing for Mr. Matthews, I mean, they tried to paint him, he's the ringleader, he's the instigator, he's the gang leader, you know, but he's a successful businessman. Obviously, if he can post a $27,000 cash bond or $207,000 surety bond, which means he had to pay $27,000. So this is once again being more racially one-sided. The news constantly, so we're just going to have to wait to the investigation. Once again, that is what the police chief used. Oh, well, that we're still investigating that. Well, how can you still be investigating that when it took you no longer than a day to start rounding up the black people? But it's taking you almost 2 weeks to still investigate whether you're going to arrest the man for the slap. And you even told the people that no, his attorney said that we can't talk to him. The same guy who started this incident. And as Clyde said, this was caused by drunken white people and alcohol consumption. And so the narrative that the prosecutors use, you got to watch this wordplay. Well, the girls jumped in and they beat and they stomped, and you know they put emphasis on the words to make the situation seem more than it was. But once again, shout out to the lawyer Clyde Bennett and the way he breaks everything down. And we hope once again these people, as the lawyer said, these people get justice, but also justice is also exacted or enacted on the others who were involved in this incident. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments and the situation as well. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. Shout out once again to the people of Cincinnati. I got mad love when I came to Cincinnati earlier this year, and also the people who calling me and giving me more information, inside information about this event. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and peace and blessings.